have a sharing session where Mr. Eric Peris will share with us his passion and insights into photography and his love and respect for Mother Nature. Hi, I'm Sui Peng, a member of the Malaysian Nature Society, MNS as she's fondly known. MNS is the oldest NGO in Malaysia dedicated to the protection and conservation of our natural heritage. This year, MNS is 83 years old, just 1 year younger than Eric. Today, we will later on see this fabulous exhibition that the National Art Gallery has put up. It has started in May this year, and it showcases almost 100 pieces of documents, newspaper, artwork from Eric's private collection, as well as those from the National Visual Arts Development Board. Now that was a mouthful, okay. So this exhibition actually is high recognition of Eric's contribution to the world of fine art and journalistic photography. Today we are very proud, MNS Selangor Branch PhotoGroup, in collaboration with the National Art Gallery, we have on stage with us the celebrated artist, Mr. Eric Peris. He needs no introduction. Seated on Eric's right-hand side is Mr. Alex Fong. Alex is our coordinator for MNS Selangor Branch PhotoGroup. Alex is a well-respected member in the photography community. And on Eric's left is Mr. Cyril Pereira. Cyril has been a friend of Eric for more than 40 years. He produced Eric's first two books, Tin Mine Landscapes in 1980, Gitanjali in 1984. Cyril has been resident working in media in Hong Kong since 1985. Today, we have the first part of this event is a slideshow of 15 selected images, which in my opinion represents key milestones in Eric's journey into fine art and journalistic photography. So without wasting too much time, I will let you, the three gentlemen, take over this event. Please give them a warm welcome.
In a way, it tells something about Eric's approach to photography, which is, if you don't go out to explore, you will never see it. And when you explore, you don't really know what you will see. So the alertness to observe and the openness to discover is very, very much part of the whole Eric Peris method.
Before I talk about the picture itself, I want to go back to one important thing, that people who are responsible for my development in photography. There were three people: my father, my mother, and my sister. My father studied art in France. My mother was an artist here. My sister had a very strong understanding of color. They guided me. I remember when I came to show my father in 1952 some pictures taken of the Tin Mine, he asked me the same question: where did you get the idea from? And I showed him the book. Then he said, it's not your idea, it is the books. When are you going to think for yourself? That's all I wanted to hear. No more books after that. After it's my way of seeing the images in front of me. And that caused me to react much, much more into the image I was going to work on. So if I felt in this particular picture, it was a black and white to me. So I had worked the whole idea of the image itself as a black and white image. The interactions are there, yes, but it is a study of a form, structure, design. And that helped me to see that much more. But of course, not through one picture. You have to go round and round, searching and looking at images that are going to teach you. And the only way I felt you could learn how to understand your black and white is you print your own pictures also. That is the best teacher. And from one picture like this, I moved up to many, many other kinds of images. I got nothing against the books, but I found out what my father meant was, think for yourself, the way you want to see the image, whether it's vertical or horizontal, it's up to you. If the book says something, then you follow, you're not learning. You have to try it on your own. Make the mistakes, yes, and you learn from your mistakes. But photography to me is not today 2 hours and a month later another 2 hours, no. It's almost a daily effect. And although I was working as a pressman in the press, I did spend my weekends in the tin mines, almost every weekend. I roamed around because I happened to be living next to one. It was a great education to me in form and design and structure. And by printing the pictures, I learned that much more the understanding of black and white. And from then on, I kept on moving from one to another, one concept to another. That's the only way I feel that you have to do your photography, is go out there and do it. It's not the question of whether you got the best picture or the worst picture. It's that do you understand what you have taken? Do you analyze the image in front of you? Should it be all vertical? Should it be horizontal? These arguments must run within you. And I always believe this, a photographer is a loner. He works alone. He can't work in a group. I must make it very clear that I didn't go out looking for images of Tagore's poems. What I did was to read the poems that I had selected, and then when I went out, I just worked out my own images. When I felt I saw something that reminded me of the poem, that's the time I recorded it. But I never went searching for the particular image, so I wouldn't know what it was. So the image had to react with me. And so I was with Cyril, in fact, in Port Clan, and one of the poems talk about the dancing light. When I turned around where I was, I found this effect itself. Then it reminded me, could it be something like this which Tagore saw when he was walking around? That's the time I recorded it. So I believe that to go around looking for the picture from the poem may not work. You have to read it, understand it, but as you go around, something will come across and you decide this is the image. And that's how I got the 30 images for the book with Anjali. In photography, I feel that you must be excited about what you see. It is something different, something that you have done before, or you have seen before, it's something new. And when that is the case, that's the time you study the structure and record it. And as far as I know, at that time, no one had recorded an image of this flow, of actually earth and sand down into the pond. And the flow is very slow because of volume. And the setting sun allows it to be highlighted. And if you read the poem itself, it just mentioned about the whole concept itself. And that's how I record the picture. I don't know whether Tagore saw such a thing where he was, but I felt that this could be one of the structures and design that would be what he saw when he wrote the poem, to reflect Tagore's poem. But I was near Sikkim, and I was coming back to Klang when the taxi man was passing by the fourth mile of Sekinjang. I turned to the left and I saw this cloud. Then immediately reflected on what the second line of the poem about the cloud floating, heavily loaded with water floating away. I said, perhaps he could have seen such a structure. I stopped the taxi man and I recorded about 3 or 4 frames, that's all. By the time the crowd broke up already. So it is a matter of you being at the right time at the right place and understanding the image. Because I had in mind a cloud formation, but if you read the verse, he talks about a heavy cloud laden with water floating. And perhaps he could have seen a similar image where he was. And this is a picture at Fourth Mile Sekinjang, the peripheries of Selangor. This was my first exhibition through Thai windows and doorways. It was an accidental thing. I went to a called Ayodhya, and I was taken up by the window images I got as I moved around. The Thai people got a different way of laying things out. Then I decided why not work a study of the windows of Thailand. Then I went to some villages, some temples, and then I found in this particular picture is a village, the potter's village. And I walked into his room, and I found that he had these pots at the window. An open window is the area where he got his clay from. So for me, it was a connection between the pots and the clay itself. And I recorded it being a study of through Thai windows and doorways. And I made a study of it and had an exhibition. When my mother saw it, she said, it's good, but remember, no repeats. We don't do Indonesian doorways and windows, Indian doorways and windows, no. So just one is that. Let somebody else do something else. Think of another idea. And that's where the direction came to my development of my photography. Father and mother, both of them making sure that you do not bungle by trying to repeat something because it worked. So I never did any more doorways and windows after this. I worked on the next subject itself. But the question is that you must get excited when you see something new as a photographer. So when I saw the image through a Thai window in Ayodhya, and I said to myself, this is very interesting, unusual. Then I started to apply it as I moved around in Bangkok, came back and had this exhibition. Current Supreme Court was formerly the GPO, General Post Office. And when they shut down, they left it alone. I walked into it, looking for some kind of picture to be taken. I was not looking for this. I was walking around and suddenly I turned around and saw the steps. And then the light was moving fast. I immediately started to record whatever I saw. And one of the pictures is this. And I went back and referred why the light was moving so fast. Then I found from my reading that we never realize that our Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. It takes 24 hours for one complete circle. And every day this is happening and we never realize it, that this Earth is spinning. And the excessive time for each spin per day, after 4 years, we get February 29th, the leap year. So we get a lot of information directly from just one picture alone, that this is what is happening. But more interesting to me was the design created down the steps. And you have to be fast because they're not going to wait for you. Because the immediate thing, is it vertical, is it horizontal, which do I work on? All that works in your mind immediately. Then when I saw this, I said it has to be a vertical shot. And I shot hardly 2 frames and the light disappeared. Because the sun was, the earth is rotating. The sun is not moving, the earth was rotating. So it was an education to me, and I found at the same time you could do many more different designs using this concept. Well, I've got nothing against color photography. But I liked black and white because they gave me a chance to understand form and design strongly in terms of black and white. But since I come from a family of painters also, I decided to say, why not I try to paint a black and white picture. And this is a structure taken from of a tree. And I decided, I said, why not I try to color it the way it should have been, that means warm tone towards it. And understanding of color came from my sister because she knew colors very well. And so I applied this. And I did a series of this. And the National Gallery has got two of them in its collection basically. There's nothing to stop a photographer from applying color to his black and white, the way he or she wants to see it. As long as you know what you're doing. So there is a way of seeing color and there's a way of seeing black and white. And you have to do it regularly to be able to understand it. It becomes your concept, your views, your values. So to me, taking a color photograph is not exciting at all. I find more exciting by taking in black and white and then coloring it to the concept of values or color that I feel I want to do. It becomes a one-off to do it. I got nothing against color photography, but I find that black and white allows you to create. The photographers must experiment. They must have trust in themselves also and carry on with your work. You're an individual. You're a loner actually, doing it on your own. And once you come to a point that you feel you want to express this and show to people, then hold the exhibition. Some will accept it, many will not accept it. That's not a question. Question, you have done it. And then the next one must change again. That makes it very important. So the right to create is yours. As long as whatever you create does not go against a number of rules. You respect religion, you respect culture, you respect society. Outside of that, you can create what you want. And if you feel you want to add color, add the kind of color that you want. Some people may like it, many may not like it. As a photographer, you must be excited when you see new things. This is the bark of a tree, and it breaks up and creates its own form. Now, as a photographer, you feel that there is something new in this form. Record it. Why do you ignore it? Just because it is nothing new to you. But each time you do this, you are learning. And when you process and print it, you study it. And you can restructure it again and again and again. So a photographer must be excited when you see something off the norm, rather than the standard images all the time. But there are many, many other images around there. You don't have to go far to look for these things. Even in front of your house, even on the side gate, you find that there will be something for you to photograph. Photography is a very, very demanding thing. And you have to be at it regularly. It's not talking about 10, 15 rolls of frames, no. Even 8 to 10 frames, if you feel you got something, work on it. It might not work, it might work. It's up to me, the way you look at things. But once you are ready, bring it out and show to people. Some will understand it, will accept it, will appreciate it. Some will say it is not the right thing to do. So the right to create is yours. As long as whatever you create does not go against social norms, structure, religion, tradition, it doesn't touch that. Outside that, you can create what you want. By taking out the picture of a bark of a tree, nobody's going to be angry with you. And the people say that it's got nothing else to photograph, it's a bark of a tree. But it has got form, it's got design, it's got structure. And add color to it, you got something new already. And that would excite people. But I believe in this, that as long as whatever you do, consciously you know you're not doing anything wrong. Why not do it? Now if you study photography and you find that the rules of regulation in photography is such that you must do ABC, and you feel that if you do EFGH is better, why not? The camera is not going to scold you. The company is not going to come and sue you down. The right to create is yours. Nobody can take the right out of you. But whatever you create must bear in mind the respect myself for religion, culture, tradition. As long as they don't touch this, creativity is all over the place. The right to create is yours. Nobody can take the right out of you. The question is that do you know what you're doing? That's most important. As the Malays say, gasabuta, no. Right? It is actual understanding of the value you have in front of you, and you want to show the people, I got something new out of this. When I do a series of hand-colored works, it's because I feel I have the right to create the way I want to see it. You may accept it, you may not accept it, but I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself actually. Because I want to know whether it can work the way I see it. So that is why it's all about. The right to create is always there. As long as you maintain the rules and regulations. Outside, you can do what you want. But I owe my development of my photography to my father, to my mother, to my sister, and a lady. And that lady is Mother Earth itself. Mother Nature was a great teacher to me. We come out in the morning at 6, looking for images. Mother Nature offers you a lot of scope, but we ignore it. But if you study Mother Nature properly and work on the images slowly, bit by bit, she's going to teach you a lot of things about photography. And I said, I was lucky, my parents were there and they said, guide me through. But most important is you. Are you prepared to accept the failures? Are you prepared to accept the changes that you are doing? Different from what you have read, different from what you have seen. The right to create is yours. As long as what you create does not go against social norms, religion. These are important things. So to create, carry on creating, is not producing 80 pictures or 100 pictures, even 2-3 frames if you create on your own, because it is the way you want to see it. And when you're ready, show it. Some will accept it, some will not accept it. That is part and parcel of the system. But it's a continuous movement day in. Each time you do it, you're improving yourself. You're seeing more things. So, how many of us, after taking pictures, sit down and look at our own work? I find 99% will be watching TV but not their own pictures. So no, look at your own work and ask yourself this one question: where did I go wrong in this picture? That becomes your teacher. You'll start to realize, if I had done this, I would have got a better picture. If I made it a vertical image, the image would have been a completely different story. And this is where we learn in photography. It's not shooting 10-20 rolls, even shooting 4-5 frames, you are learning your photography. So, and it is a regular thing, not today and 3 months later again. It is regular, even if it's within your house. If there's an unusual light coming in, take a picture of it and study that light. Why is it important? And you find your next picture will be different again. It's a regular thing continuously. And once you have come to that level, you will find that you are creating more and more work. And once you are ready, bring it out and show it as an exhibition. People may accept it, people may not accept it, but you did it for yourself.
All right. Thanks.
Then may I invite Mr. Nor Hisham from the National Art Gallery. He's quite unusual and rather greedy and asked what he would like. I said we don't have much money. He said he wants a print from MNS. PhotoGroup member. So Mr. Eric has very generously made a print of his. It's based on the model below textbook. It's actually a priceless print.
Shorten the shutter
Because
speed.
of that slope shutter, he already moved, so he became blur. But that is the problem. That is the problem. I'm not interested in the map.